Yay, I'm recording.
I am as well.
Yay, that's exciting.
Woo! Back on the airwaves.
Woo-hoo. Wow, look at us go.
Look at us. We're doing the thing that podcasters do.
We're doing the thing. We're talking into microphones like assholes.
Assholes with an opinion.
Don't most?
I've heard every, I think.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of assholes have opinions, which is often what makes them assholes.
True. A great point. Are we the problem?
We are the problem.
We are the problem.
It's not We Are the World, it's We Are the
It's the 2024 edition of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Am I wrong? No, it is the children who are wrong.
It is the world that is incorrect.
Correct. Oh, goodness, golly gosh.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Alan.
How you doing?
I'm here.
You know what? And that is a great achievement in and of itself. Congratulations.
Thank you. I am physically present and accounted for it. That is not to speak at all to the current state of my spiritual well-being. I'm fine. I'm actually fine. I'm just very busy. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like a rough couple of weeks, but I think we're starting to come out on the other end of it. I lost my job last month.
Yeah.
Which was it was just like a really weird long process, and I don't remember how much of this I had mentioned or alluded to in the podcast, but they let us know in June that they were going to be reducing our workforce, but didn't tell us by how much, who was on the chopping block, how many people, what departments, what they were looking at keeping. And so at the end of the day, when all was said and told, they kept us in that kind of ambiguous state through September. And then they told us that 75% of the org was being cut.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Chill.
lost my job. Yep.
Super great.
It was...
Love that for you.
I fully thought I was like, and given that I'd known for so long, I was like, oh, this is fine. And like, you go through the grieving process a couple of times, and you're like, okay, I've made my peace with what's coming, and it'll be fine. And then it actually comes, and turns out all your preparation was just not right, or just like not worth it, because it's so fascinating to me, like the way the grief works, and like you think you're prepared, and then you're not, and then there's just other things you haven't considered, and then you just kind of keep spiraling. But I've just gotten a job offer, so yes, which you were a reference for, and I appreciate you so much. You continue to be my rock.
I'm so glad that you got that job.
Yeah, so hopefully soon we'll start to feel less of that weight of unemployment. Yeah
Unemployment blows. Getting laid off sucks. And I was in a situation, so I got laid off in 2020, like most people. And you're right that like we all knew something was coming. It was June of 2020. We had been closed. Like I worked at the cathedral, and we were closed for like 4 months at that point. And I was the group tour coordinator.
Oh no!
I didn't have high hopes. I thought I was going to get furloughed though. Like I thought what was going to happen is I was going to be on an indefinite furlough. And so when they were like, actually, deuces, best of luck with your life, here's your 2 weeks notice. They gave me 2 weeks notice, which was weird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Normally when you lay someone off, you just take their stuff so they can't fuck you over.
Right.
But they not only gave me 2 weeks notice, they expected me to work that whole time. And like go to all staff meetings and stuff. And I was like,
absolutely not.
No, ma'am. I'm not doing that. I took 2 weeks off paid vacation because I was going to lose it anyway.
Love that. Hell yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember me and my therapist at the time, Tanya, had an emergency session. And I remember having probably one of the worst like cry breakdown sob fests that I've had in my adult life. Because I just felt like the question that kept coming up was like, why wasn't I worth keeping? And I was like, it just felt bad. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, it has, because I'm a number on a page to them.
Right.
Ultimately, which is now why I'm like not loyal at all to anybody ever.
I feel that.
But and I wasn't then either really, but like that was really the nail in the coffin where I was like, they'll cut you loose. They just don't. Like they don't really care. So and
Mm-hmm.
they tried. I mean, I guess they did their best in a situation that no one could whatever. But I felt
Sure.
particularly bad when you said you were getting laid off because at least I was with a whole slew of people who were all
Mm-hmm.
going through it together. So it felt like the world kind of had a moment of like, yeah, this blows, but we all have stuff to do. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we were doing a lot of activism stuff and like there was a lot of resources. There was extra money for unemployment. So like in your case, I was like, oh shit, he's kind of like he's on his own. Like that blows. Like it's how it's normally is. I was an atypical case.
Yeah.
So I just felt really bad. But I'm so glad you got that other job.
Yes. Thank
And you're
you.
gonna take it?
I am. Yeah.
Good.
Because I think I figure even if like for some reason I end up not feeling like you said there is something that like broke internally about after having been laid off where you're just like I don't give two shits. Like if I don't like the space, I'm gonna look for something else and fuck loyalty and like
Yep.
you see me as just a face and I'm gonna see you as just a check and that's
Yep.
the way we're gonna operate.
To quote the internet, if it sucks, hit the bricks.
Incredible.
Yeah, for real.
The wisdom of the internet.
Well, congrats.
Thank you kindly. How have you been doing?
You know, hanging in there.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
on a cascade of just thing after thing after thing for many, many weeks now.
Yeah.
It started really like Labor Day, I think, or shortly before Labor Day, and it is now October 8th.
Yep.
So, as my favorite comedian in the world, John Panette, may he rest in peace, once said, "I am losing my cherub-like demeanor." Like very quickly becoming a
Which
raging
is saying
bitch.
something because you
Yeah.
have just like a natural cherub like demeanor.
Aw, you're being sarcastic, but I'm going to take it as sincere.
I know I'm not.
I usually try to be pretty upbeat and chill. Like I'm sarcastic as shit, but I'm usually pretty like positive and roll with the punches and all that kind of stuff. Before we got onto Zoom, I had to update my Zoom. I had to change microphones. I had to get my laptop set up, and I literally was like shoving meatloaf into my face for dinner, and I was just like, motherfucker, like so angry, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And then Geraldine came in, and I was like, girl, that was not the time.
No.
It was not a good time. I was like really stressed out for about 20 minutes, and then I saw your beautiful shining face, and things got better.
Oh, stop it, you.
I just sent you a text that was like, Discord, we can't record on Discord because you know and my Skype logged me out. Jesus, Herbert Walker Christ.
Yeah. I
can't
was
do
like,
this
oh, things
anymore.
are serious.
Yeah, we're using the full name.
Full name. We're using his full name.
We double middle name. Jesus, Herbert Walker Christ.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's just like, and the thing is, it's been a lot of fun stuff. Like I'm actually in a
Yeah.
great place with my life. I'm just
Good.
exceedingly busy right now.
Right.
And because I haven't had enough time to like be a potato,
Mhm.
I am not. I'm not feeling good mentally, so I need to take more
For
time
sure.
for myself and walk away from a couple of things, which is gonna be fine. The biggest of which is gonna be I'm gonna take a break from choir.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
choir is like the lowest stakes thing,
100%.
which is great. The biggest news in my life is that I'm buying a condo.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so stoked for you.
I'm so excited.
It's
so
finally
excited.
happening. You've been
It's-
working for it for so long.
Thank you. Literally years, almost a decade.
Literally.
Yeah. I am it's like it is equal parts extremely excited and very like looking forward to it and like profoundly scared and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Cuz it is adult shit.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
legal contracts and bank loans and like I'm getting funding from the county that I live in because that was like the only way I could afford it. Basically, I went through a first time homebuyer program and they gave me a
Oh,
whole
wow.
shit ton of money to help with down payment and closing costs, which is incredible. But it
Love
just means
that.
that there's like extra financial stuff that I have to disclose and like I have to make sure that I have all the documents in and like
Oh, I see.
the like asset verification portal that they linked me to didn't work. So now I have to manually upload all of my documents, which is fine. I've done like I have them. It's not a big deal. It's just that there's a lot going on. So it's exciting as all hell, but also I'm like, and also I'm gonna have to move.
Oh, yep. It's like
I'm-
definitely looking forward to being on the other side of it in your new
Yeah.
condo.
Yeah. It'll be really nice when it's done, or like when the big transition is done, and I can start like nesting and having fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta
exactly.
get through the hard part first.
Mhm.
And then I have about 10 years to do whatever I want for real, because my funding was contingent on being in that condo for 10 years. So,
yes.
yeah. Well, it's like you have to use it as your primary residence as a first-time home buyer for 10 years. And
Sure.
then the money's forgiven, basically. So
Oh,
it's
amazing.
it's either like stay there 10 years and don't have to pay it back, or
Mhm.
if you stay less than 10 years, they prorate it per year, and then you do have to pay it back when you sell.
Great.
Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
not bad at all.
Anyway, moral of the story, I'm going to be sticking around for a while. I'm not going anywhere.
Nice.
I'm
Good.
like chilling like a villain.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. This is going to be great.
I'm very excited. So,
Oh, congratulations.
thank you. I'm very excited and scared shitless.
And
But
I think
mostly
both are
excited.
fair.
Yeah, mostly excited. The excited does outweigh the scared, I think, and it's gonna feel really awesome when it is done and I'm like in it and it's cool. And it's scary to like have your housing payment go up by a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
The numbers crunch. Like, I've done the math and I've done the budget, and I've been working with a financial advisor, and like I have the salary to do it. So it's not that it's a bad choice. It's just scary when you're used to being like, what is the cheapest possible rent I can get?
Absolutely.
To then be like, no, I'm actually going to invest in this, and it's going to be a bigger chunk of my salary than I've been investing before. And like, how do I make that work? That it feels intimidating.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine.
Yeah, it will be, because you've prepared.
Thanks. Also, mortgage rates went down, which was really helpful.
Nice. Now's the time.
Yeah, it kind of was. I was like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't. We've gone on such a tangent. It's fine. So mortgage rates had been in the sevens, like the mid sevens ish for a while, which was it's pretty high. Like, we're probably never going to go back down to the 3s or the 4% where we were in like 2020. But like 5 or 6 is pretty average. It had gone up, it was climbing, and then the Feds had cut the rates a couple of times, and they started going back down again. But prices had also sort of stagnated recently, at least in our area, because a lot of people had been like, well, fuck it, the mortgage rates are too high, I'm not going to do this. So like,
Right.
I kind of hit at this exact right point before people started going like, wee, with the prices again.
Nice.
So yeah, it just kind of panned out.
Hell yeah. Love that.
So I guess we should shout out our Ko-Fi people, huh?
Yes, we absolutely should.
Now that we've done our little intro of how we're doing, which was pretty extensive, I have them. Hold on. All right. We have some Ko-Fi followers, supporters to shout out, some lovely friends of the pod. Our dear friend Leo, who's been with us a long time. I think new friend Rose, Charlotte, Dion, heart of my heart, and Allie. Tried and true, our Ko-Fi supporters. They continue to keep us just sort of in good standing with our recording stuff and our SoundCloud. So thank you for that. We do really appreciate
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And if you want to support us on Ko-Fi, you can. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. We can be found at ko-fi.com/theficlist. And I think the minimum, like the lowest amount you can possibly offer through Ko-Fi is $1. So that's what it is. So if you want to give us literally $1, you can.
We will thank you.
Gratefully. We will be thrilled.
We will be in your debt
Yeah. Well,
by $1.
it was a gift. So not technically. See, I've been doing a lot of mortgage stuff.
Eternally indebted to you.
I was like, it's not debt because it's a gift. It's technically payment.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, we're not in debt to you.
I'm going to keep writing checks that Aaron will cash.
No! No! Anyway, that's fine. So yeah, thank you, Ko-Fi.
Thank
I
you.
also wanted to tell a fun little story and give a shout out to a listener. And I feel like you're going to enjoy this story a lot, Alan.
I can't wait.
I think I texted you about this when it happened, but I'm going to tell you the full story now. So Caitlin and I went to the Try Guys Eat the Menu tour live show in DC.
Sounds so fun.
It was very fun. It was very stupid. I had a great time. And I say stupid, parentheses, affectionate. It's the kind of thing that knows what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, there are people like Keith Habersberger, bless his heart, knows how to do a show that caters to his audience's expectations of just absurdity and fun. Like, they threw chicken nuggets at the crowd. It was great.
Incredible. No notes.
Yeah. They did the song that they were throwing chicken nuggets while singing about getting pizza with Tim Meadows. which is an old Keith reference. And it was very fun. We had a great time. Caitlin got up and got to have some snacks with Keith in the aisle. So she's going to be on the YouTube video. So actually, if you want to see Caitlin eat a meringue with Keith and Zach and Jared Popkins, you can. She'll be there.
My God.
Our friend Jade was brought up on stage and then put in a pizza costume to do a little dance, and that was really fun. But before the show, they did what's called an eat and greet, which I think was the best meet and greet I've ever experienced as a fan. Like, it was so well structured. They had a very small group of people. I think it was capped at like 50 people. And they literally set up the lobby of the theater with a bunch of food, and they were like, go get a snack, go get dinner, like whatever. And when we walked in, Zach was just sprawled on the stairs of the venue, like, paint me like one of your French girls. And Keith was off in a corner. Jared walked past me with a beer in hand and was like, "What's up, guys?" We were all just like, whoa, what's happening?
Just chilling.
But it was meant to be like a hang, which was really cool. Now, I thought it was going to be a little bit more formal in the sense that I thought it was going to be like kind of like a wedding reception where it's like, there's kind of like they go around the room. And I do think that would have been better. So Keith, if you're listening next time, do that. Because it wound up just being wait in line for Keith. But you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Fine. It's not a big deal.
Sure.
But it was really nice because there wasn't this sort of like step and repeat like thing. It was like you could actually have a conversation. And while I was in line to say hi to, I think it was Jared Popkins, who was so nice and so funny, I was wearing my Fickless shirt because I was like, it's cringe, but I don't care. I'm going to wear my podcast shirt. And then if somebody asks me about it, it's so good. But also I was like, if somebody asks me about it, then I'll tell them about it and then we can get more listeners. And what if like Zach and Keith ask me about it and then I can tell them about it and it'll be great.
And they can be on the podcast. Right.
And I was like, I really wanted Kaylin, who was their social media manager, but she wasn't there. So Kaylin,
bummer.
If you want to talk, I'll DM you. Actually, Desiree told me to DM you. So they all said you were like, no, she would do it. Like, DM her. And I was like, okay. But as I was in line, I was wearing my shirt and this guy walks up to me and he goes, are you the Ficklist? And I was like, yeah, I'm Aaron. And he went, oh, no way. I've listened to every episode of your podcast at least once, if not multiple times over. I love your podcast. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, you've got to be shitting me. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened. His name was Matthew. Hello. I do remember you. Hi. It was so exciting. And I remember because I was like, that's my brother's name. And so I was like, and like we took a picture and it was like the coolest thing. Like he was so nice and so complimentary. And it was just so fun to like run into somebody.
Wild.
I'm so glad I did the thing. Yeah. And like wore the shirt and like had that moment of like putting myself out there in that way because it landed with this like really wonderful little interaction. And then, you know, we sort of like went our separate ways and like he was there with somebody and like they went to go talk to somebody and I went off to go, I think, talk to Keith at that point. But it was just like absolutely stunningly fun. And thank you so much. Like Matt, you made my day. You made more than my day. You made like my whole week. It was so exciting. So if you're listening to this episode, just know that it was really, really cool. And I'm glad you said hi.
Thanks for listening, Matt. And thanks for approaching Aaron.
Yeah. And like I said to you in person, that's a lot of minutes.
That's a commitment.
Yeah, I was like, our episodes are long.
That is true. Some of them are pretty long.
Yep, we have at least one episode that's almost 3 hours long.
A favorite.
Yeah, which is great. I was just like, wow. Yeah. Like when you say you've listened to every episode, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like one thing to listen to every episode of a like half-hour discussion podcast. Like,
right.
This is a lot. So that was really cool. I thought you'd like hearing that story. It was really, really fun.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Thanks for sharing. Oh, that's so amazing. I can't. Just what are the odds? What are the odds?
I know. Who's to say? I was like, what are the chances? And like,
right.
I'm so glad that I like did the thing and got over being a little cringy about it and was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it.
And it's such a good shirt too. Like shout out to Mary for the amazing shirt.
Yeah. And I mean, ultimately one of the, it's too bad that the point of this episode is not to get too deep in the woods on anything, because I could talk at length about how much better the Try Guys handled a recent move to a subscription model than our friends at Watcher did.
Man.
Should I do it? Should I give myself like a minute and a half?
I think you should. All right, we'll time you. I'm just kidding.
Yikes. So as anybody who listened to our previous episode will know, Watcher biffed it super hard and fucked around and found out. They tried to transition to a subscription model a la Dropout or all of these other sort of like subscription based content channels that go from YouTube to their own platform, and alienated all of their base, and they're tanking in their views. They're doing poorly, let me tell you. Their most recent, they were supposed to go on tour again, or they are on tour currently, and those tickets are not sold. I've been looking at the venue here, and I was like, those shows sold out last time, like quick. And they have like probably sold less than a quarter of the house this time around.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. So anyway, Watcher fucked around and found out. But it's kind of funny because the Try Guys had obviously been laying the groundwork for this for a long time, where they had started talking about like a big announcement. We're going to do like a pilot season. We're going to do all of this stuff. And then like it's all going to culminate into this big thing in 2024. But they hadn't said what it was going to be. So then Watcher made their announcement and everyone was like, LOL, how funny would it be if the big Try Guys announcement that they've been talking about for a year was a subscription service? And then LOL, it was.
They must have been so angry. Or we're like, this is the time.
I don't know. So this is my conspiracy theory brain. My little, like, I don't know if this is true. This is entirely speculative. But I do wonder if Watcher tried to beat them to the punch. And that's part of why
it's half-baked.
Yeah, why the plan was not good is that they were like, like, we should do the same thing, and we should do it. We should try to, like, get in before they do to, like...
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's true. That could be a very unkind thing to suggest, but I was like, I don't know. Like, the timing of it is suspect to me.
The timing, right? Because it was like not very long after it. I only just found out about the Try Guys subscription streaming service from you.
They announced it quite literally like a month later. Yeah.
Right. I was like, it's like within 6 weeks or something. That is wild.
Yeah. So, to the Try Guys' credit, like the way that they handled it was just so wildly different that pretty much instantly when people saw the actual announcement that they made, they were like, oh, okay, yeah,
I'm on board.
Yeah, there were people who were like, not for me, but that's fine. And then there were a bunch of people like me who were like, well, actually it kind of makes sense to do this, because me and my friend Beth, like our friend Beth, every like 2 or 3 times a year, the Try Guys will put on a live production. So it usually is like Without a Recipe live or something crazy. And so we'll make a night of it, right? So like one time they did chicken and waffles. We're going to make chicken and waffles without a recipe. It's going to be live. It's going to be chaos. And so we made chicken and waffles and we watched it and had a grand old time. And the tickets are like $20 a pop, and you can have how many people you want watch it in your living room. Cool.
Love it.
The annual fee is like $60. So I was like, well, if we do this 2 or 3 times a year, it's already paid for because the live shows are included in the subscription.
There you go.
And I was like, that's brilliant. Putting the live shows in the thing like made it worth it for a lot of people, because a lot of us, I think, felt the same way. And that was the big difference, is that they made it worth it. They put their entire back catalog on there. So they had 10 years worth of YouTube videos.
Wow.
They had spent months previously doing what they were calling pilot season, where they piloted a bunch of new series that they were then like, LOL, like you didn't know this when we were talking about it, but these are all pilots for the subscription service. So like full seasons of these, actually all of them are going to end up on the subscription service. So if you liked the pilot, subscribe and you'll get more, which was brilliant. And they were very careful in their messaging to be like, we are not leaving YouTube. We're not. Like, there is no world in which we leave YouTube entirely. Like, no. There will be some things that are exclusive to the subscription model, but the vast majority of our content is going to remain like accessible via YouTube. There's just going to be a delay. And so it was like they really got it. Like, they understood a lot of the concerns and like anticipated a lot of the concerns, and they've been handling it really, really well. There's been some hiccups. They had some issues with their closed captioning and all that kind of stuff, but like they've been super responsive when people have been like, hey, there's no captions on this thing. They've tried to fix it right away. Like, and they've just been really good, and the content is good. There's a new series called New Guy Tries with Ash Perez, formerly of BuzzFeed, and they also expanded their cast, so they now have a rotating cast of like 9 people.
Hell yes.
and it's really, really, really great. Because it's not just Keith and Zach anymore, because Eugene left. Eugene
Right.
is still a co-owner, I guess, but he's not in the cast anymore, so he's like not in videos.
Right.
So they were like, we're gonna have 9 new people, and all of them are great, and most of them are former BuzzFeed people.
Love.
A good chunk of them, not all of them. But Ash
Sure.
Press is doing a new series called New Guy Tries, talking about his transition and basically like trying traditionally masculine things for the first time after
Oh, I
going through
love
transition.
that.
And it's really good. It's really good. I was like, oh, this has the energy of old Try Guys, but in like a new way, like a fresh way.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked
That's
it
so
a lot.
exciting.
Yeah. So
Good on you, Try Guys.
yeah. Who'd have thought in the year of our Lord 2024 that we'd be sitting here being like, do you know who's great and like totally relevant is the Try Guys?
Yeah. And you know who sucks?
Yeah.
Watcher.
Yeah, you couldn't have paid me to guess
No.
that. Like, I would not have laid my money down that way.
Not on my bingo card.
I loved Watcher. It was a real bummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the year of our Lord 2024. Try Guys crushing it. Watcher sucks. Who'd have thought?
In summation. Yep. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So we did talk about a fandom thing in this episode.
Look at us go.
Look at us go. So, should we address the elephant in the room? There isn't really an elephant
Yeah.
in the room, but we do have something to tell the viewers. I feel like
Yes.
we're sitting our kids down for a family discussion.
We need to have a very serious discussion now.
Kids, your
Aaron
father
will
and
be
I.
moving to Apple Podcasts, and I will be staying at Spotify. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean we don't love you. I'm just kidding.
It means 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
Goodness. I think it's of no surprise to anybody that there have not been many episodes of The Fickless this year.
mhm.
And I don't know if you
Right.
could tell by everything about this episode, but we're tired, guys.
I don't know if you could tell by the tone, the
Yeah.
timbre.
And we've got a lot going on, obviously.
Mhm.
I don't want to speak for both of us the whole time because Alan also has his own sort of take on this and experience. But we did want to let you guys know that I think we're going to take a little bit of a break for a while.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, this is going to be the last episode of The Fickless just for now, just for a little bit, just for a
Mhm.
tiny little window of time while we get our shit
Right.
together. And
Yes.
figure out the path forward.
Yeah, I just feel like there is it's not like a great feeling to feel like, oh, we want to be putting out more episodes and we want to be able to like fully give this all of our attention, but I think life at the moment is just a little hard to keep up with everything already,
Mhm.
and adding in something that brings us a lot of joy but is, something that we do for fun. It was just a little too much for yes, I love not speaking for Aaron, but I will say it was a little too much for me. And I really hope that us taking some time now to kind of just recenter ourselves and hopefully life will start to feel a little less chaotic, a little less frantic.
Mhm.
And then we can come back and give this all of our attention, all of the love that it deserves. But I don't think I can give that myself right now.
Yeah. Did you want to tell the podcast about some of the cool stuff that's going on in your life that's taking up your time?
Well, I think I did make allusions to this, but I recently made the jump back on stage, which is very exciting, and it's
Yay.
like definitely something that it brings me so much joy, and I love it, and I am hoping to join a grad school program next fall of 25. So I'm currently doing as many shows as possible. I'm currently in rehearsals for a play. This is what I talked about last time, of the 2 short plays I did during the summer. One of both got first and then runner up. And so the first place play will be going to the state contest later over in January, and the runner-up also is being sent by a different theater. So a different theater has picked it up and said, we want to send that competition piece also, so I will have double the amount of chances.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all very exciting and it's wonderful. And so it's all good things, but it is very much kind of to what you were saying earlier. And it's like, it's good stuff. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities. It's just a lot of it all at once. And then in addition to trying to focus on like application materials and audition monologues and all of these other things, it's a lot, but it's so much fun. And it's really making me feel like an artist again, which has been a while since I felt like I could say that.
I love that for you. I feel like I got a little bit of that with the chorus, and knowing that you are experiencing like a rebirth in some ways creatively is just so wonderful. And I got to see you in one of the plays that you've been in recently.
Yeah.
You were fucking great, as expected.
Thank you.
But we got to be there and be like, Alan is on stage. Oh, we got to be chill.
You're so kind.
And it was so fun, and I'm so happy for you. And like, I really appreciated one of the things that I think I have always appreciated about our podcast, we've said it since the beginning, is that like when we're not able to do this anymore, that's okay. And like, this is meant to be fun. It's not a job. It's a cool thing. But we both sort of had a conversation recently where we're like, there's a lot happening. And the honesty in that conversation meant a lot to me because it felt really safe. And I was like, oh, I'm reminded why, because tell me if you mind me sharing this, but you were like, do you want to do this podcast with someone else? Like, do you want somebody else to come co-host with you? And I was like, fuck no. This is our thing. Like, it's the Aaron and Alan show, man. Like, we can't, I could do it with someone else, but I don't want to. Like, this is our baby and it will always be our baby to me. And like, I think much like fanfic authors, we can just take a break and then we'll come back and it'll be cool.
Agreed.
So like, I want to be super duper clear with people that this is not the end of the fic list by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I have a fun little thing to share with everybody, which is that because Alan was like, hey, I can't do this really right now anymore. It got my little brain going. And I was like, well, I'm feeling really creatively fulfilled in the podcast space right now. Like, I'm busy as shit, obviously, but I am feeling like I have a lot of energy in podcasting. The interview we just did with Chuck Tingle really was like, I don't think you'll mind me saying, like, I did the bulk of the work on that, and it felt really awesome that we pulled it off. And like, I walked away from that interview feeling like, oh, I'm really like, this is something I'm good at and I want to do more and I want to get better at. So after talking with our friend Marissa, who does a whole bunch of interesting, Marissa Tandon does Tandon Productions. She's like one of my close friends now. I was like, hey, I have all these ideas. Friend of the pod, friend of me. Just like friend of the pod
and of me.
Yeah, just like good human, all around good person. I was like, I have all these ideas. Like, would you want to do something? And like, it just kind of landed on like, we're both like not in a great place to collaborate right now. That's totally fine. Then I thought more about it. And I was like, well, what if I did like an interview style podcast with creative people? And from the angle of, how does fandom impact your creativity? How did it influence you? What has fandom done for you as a person? What are you a fan of? And then how do you interact with fandom as someone who creates professionally in some capacity? Because I think those are the questions that we got at with Chuck Tingle that I think were really interesting. And it opens up a lot of pathways for a lot of different people, because creative just in general is such a broad term that I think somebody who is like a designer, for example, is going to have a very different relationship to both source material and like the thing that they're creating than perhaps like an actor. And so I was like, the broad swath of that could be really cool. And then there's also like the TTRPG space, and there's all of these other, like, there's so many people who are quote unquote creatives for a living. And so my goal is to get as many people like that. And even someone like Kaylin from the Try Guys, who is she's like a professional fangirl, like that, a big part of her brand, like her personal brand is like pop culture girly. Like she goes to concerts all the time, and she has become a social media manager at a major digital like company.
True.
And I was like, that's got to be a fascinating dichotomy as like somebody who is both a fangirl, like a person who understands the fandom, like what it is to be a fandom, but then also has to like interface with the people who are like for real, you know what I mean? Like, and navigating that balance has to be an interesting sort of thing. And like, how does it make you better at your job? Because there's got to be like the knowledge of fandom makes you a better social media person for sure.
100%.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Caitlin, I'm going to DM you. Please
Right.
be in this
Caitlin,
episode.
if you hear this.
Yeah, if you hear this, I really want to talk to you. I have a lot of questions. But that I think is going to start in the new year. I'm hoping at least to start it up in the new year. So that'll bridge the gap. And then it'll also keep the channel alive. So that way, you know, if come Pride season 2025, we're like, let's fucking go. Then we just do it and it's cool and it's all good. Like it's not the channel stays alive. So so that's the idea. Yay.
I'm obsessed with it. I really, I mean, I think about all of the interviews that we've done over the years, and I think about how you have such a gift at like asking these really deep questions in such an accessible way, and of like just making conversation so dynamic with anyone. I remember just always feeling so like nervous going into an interview and then being like, wait, Aaron's there. Aaron will make sure that we get through this, and Aaron will push us, and we'll make sure that the conversation is dynamic and is fascinating and is insightful. And so I am so excited that you're doing this, and I cannot wait to listen to these.
Thanks. That was really nice. Yeah. You can't see my face, listeners, but I'm making the the cry emoji face.
So is the check in the mail, or what can I expect?
I'm not allowed to move large sums of money right now.
Oh.
That's true. You're not allowed, when you're in like the process. You're not allowed.
That makes sense.
I have to talk to Caitlin because we're going to Comic-Con next week. We're going to Comic-Con next week. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Oh, right.
But we're going to Comic-Con.
There's more.
Yeah, there is more. Like, see, this is why we're like, there's too much happening. We're going to Comic-Con next week, and normally I would just put the bill on my credit card and you'd Venmo me and it'd be fine.
Oh, true.
And I was like, oh, I don't know how that's going to work this time. So we're going to figure it out. It's going to be fine.
Nice.
It's going to be okay. But I did have a moment of like sheer panic where I was like, oh no, it's fine. So all that said, I'm not allowed to pay you large amounts of money for compliments right now. It's not in the budget. So unfortunately that was sincere.
Foiled again.
Oh darn. Well, I am so excited for you. I think you are gonna go crush stuff. My only request is that we occasionally go to the diner. You don't,
of course,
forget little old me when you go.
I would never
be a fancy pants actor boy. And if you become one of those actors who becomes an asshole, I will smack you.
Please, absolutely do it. I give you permission now.
I will. I won't let you get too big for your britches.
Good, excellent. Yeah, it's a fear.
Be like, Alan, remember we co-host a fan fiction podcast. Knock it off. You're not better than me.
Just pull this audio clip and be ready.
Be like, no.
Stop that.
Yeah, no, you're going to be incredible. I'm so looking forward to you expanding your craft. And like grad school gets a bad rap, and I think some grad schools are kind of predatory. So I think that comes from a real place of like frustration. But I know the programs that you're looking at are really, really well like grounded and like will be valuable to your career moving forward. And I just hope that like all of that pans out the way that you want it to pan out, and then you have a really fucking great time.
Thank you.
Like, it opens up doors for you that you couldn't have imagined, and yeah, I think you're gonna crush it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Look at us, love fest.
Oh, stop! It's like when people are like, the best part about your podcast is that I think you and Alan are like actually friends. I'm like, we are.
Yeah, we are. Surprise.
Surprise. And like, we've been doing this for what? Like, so we started this in like 2018-ish. So
yeah,
like 6 years or so. And like, I think so much about how far we've come in those 6 years too. And like, could not have imagined then what this would turn into. And I'm so excited for the next 6 years, however long, just to like have this evolve and keep changing and do things. And like, I think we accepted a long time ago that we are not on a traditional podcast path. We're not going to get sponsored by Audible, and that's fine.
Right.
That's okay. But I love that we do this the way that we do it. I think it's more I think it's more fun this way. And I don't know, I just love doing it with you. So
I agree. I think that's part of our charm.
I hope so. Matt, would you tell us? Let us know.
Yeah, Matt, can you write in and let us know what is it that keeps bringing you?
Yeah, please. Actually, also, I forgot to mention. I was gonna say during that, to Matt and anybody else who is a Matthew. I don't know if you go by Matthew or Matt. I'm so sorry if I've shortened your name unnecessarily. You introduced
Wow,
yourself
Aaron,
to me
I
as
can't
Matthew.
believe you've done this.
I know. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry. Matthew, as you introduced yourself to me. If you are not currently, you should join our Discord so we can like be friends.
Yes.
We have a Discord. It's called the Fic List. And it's
Join
real nerdy
us.
and it's really fun. So, and also the Discord heard about this plan a long time ago because I was like, "Hey guys, would you be really upset if this is what we did?" And everyone was like, "No, that sounds great." And I was like, "Thank God." So, definitely join the Discord so we can say hi if you're not already in the
Seriously.
Discord. And if you are in the Discord, introduce yourself, please.
18 plus.
Be like, "It's me." Oh yeah, it's an 18 plus Discord. You do have to be an adult. I assume Matthew was an adult.
Right. Didn't say any parents.
No, I don't think. The average age of the crowd of the Try Guys show, solidly millennial. Solidly
Amazing.
millennial.
Love that.
Anyway, moral of the story. That's what we're up to. That's what we're planning on, and I hope that we keep you along for the ride with this interview podcast. I have some dream guests, some people who are reaches, some people that I know who are more reasonable, like to assume that they will do, and then some folks in the middle. Marissa, looking at you,
Yes.
friendo. But yeah, I have some people in my back pocket that I'm reasonably certain will say yes. And then some folks that would just be fucking awesome. Like, hey, Erika Ishii.
Yes. Oh
Wouldn't
my
they be
God.
fantastic?
That would be so fucking stellar.
Yeah, and Abria, actually. For pretty much anybody from the Dropout team, but those two in particular to
Hell
me are
yes.
really interesting to like talk to, especially
Yes.
because they work on like their own like radio plays and stuff, and like they have
Mhm.
such broad backgrounds. I mean, obviously Brendan
Right.
Mulligan too, but like
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
duh. But like Erika Ishii was like first thought of like reach guest. It was Erika, and I was like, of
A
course.
great one.
Yeah. So there's just a whole lot of people that I would love to talk to. So if you know of somebody, or if you have connections to somebody, or if you are somehow creative, if you are, a behind the scenes person, I want to talk to behind the scenes people too, or have connections to behind the scenes people. I am trying to focus on people who are professionals in creative fields. So as much as I love all of us sort of like groundlings, I'm trying to sort of talk specifically about the interplay between professional and fandom. So like,
Yeah.
think about those kinds of people. If you have any connections, email me, hit me up, let me know. theficlist@gmail.com. Or if you fit into those categories and want to talk about it, cool. I promise I won't ask you what fan fiction you read unless you bring that energy first. I will ruck up with the respectful energy, and then if you're like, actually I love the Omegaverse, I'll be like, cool, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
And speaking of the Omegaverse,
Yes.
look at that segue. 6 years of
Wow.
podcasting, and I'm good at it finally.
It's paid off.
I did it
Immediately. And then immediately goes out the window by pointing it out.
That doesn't matter. I don't care.
That's true.
We have a panel at New York Comic Con next week.
Woo! Year 2, baby.
Woohoo! We're back, and it's called Into the Omegaverse, a long, hard look at smutty fan fiction. I'm so proud of us. I love us so much. So we are actually going to be there on Saturday night. It is an 18 plus after hours, after dark panel, which is hilarious. I love that for us. And we are going to be talking about the Omegaverse and also sort of tracing how we got to the Omegaverse. Like the sort of history of subversive and like queer culture in fandom that led to the Omegaverse sort of existing, or like how we got there, and then how it has proliferated and like what the effect is and what some of the socio-political implications are. That's my slide, obviously, because that's just who I am as a person. And it's going to be really great. It's like an hour, so it's like a 9:15 start, I think. And then we're the last ones in the room, so if we go a little bit over talking about it, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Who's going to stop you?
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. We have a special guest coming. They may or may not have done our New York Comic Con 2023. And they're contributing. Unfortunately, they cannot join us in person, but there will be a really wonderful contribution from them, and it's gonna be just like a really good time. So come if you're gonna be in New York, if you're gonna be at New York Comic Con on Saturday night, come hang out with us. And it'll
Come
be
say hi.
real silly.
I'm so excited to hear how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, Alan's not gonna be there.
I will not be there. Unfortunately, I will be in tech
Boo,
for
you
the
whore.
show I'm in.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
We're just not. It's fine. So it's gonna be me and Caitlin.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
And it'll be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm actually not worried
We've
at
done
all.
this so many times. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be really fun because Caitlin also has like a depth of fandom knowledge that is just so incredible.
Much.
Yeah. She's slightly older than both of us, and so
Mm-hmm.
she was just a little bit more like conscious.
Yeah, she
Than we
developed
were.
a brain, a mind.
She like wasn't 6, you know? Like,
Yeah.
she was like 10, 11. Like she remembers like she had a GeoCities account, like that era of fandom. So she just like knows it a little bit better. And so her perspective is really great. And she also has a much wider knowledge across fandoms too. Like her
Mm-hmm.
like the series and like the movies and TV shows that she watches much broader than I think either of
Yeah.
us. So
I agree.
yeah, Caitlin's great. So between the two of us, we're gonna have a great time. We did steal a lot of your slides from when we did this show.
Good.
This
Yes, please.
because we did a version of this at AwesomeCon, and you can actually
Mhm.
watch that version of this on our YouTube channel if you want. So if you can't go to New York Comic Con and you want to see this material, it already exists on YouTube, and then we're gonna try to film it again because why not?
Yeah.
And post it on YouTube so you can see it and be part of it, which will be really fun.
Exciting.
So thanks for all the work that you put into that previous one because it meant that we didn't have to redo it.
I'm glad it was helpful. I was like, do whatever you need to with it.
Yeah, that's what we did. We did cut one of your slides.
How fucking dare you? I
Sorry.
put my blood, my sweat, my tears,
Gross.
and this is how I'm repaid.
Yikes. I did not know there were fluids in there. I guess it is the Omegaverse. I should have known.
Truth. Gross.
Yeah. And that's the kind of humor you can look forward to on Saturday night at New York Comic Con. Room 406.2. Woo!
Oh man, that's so
It's gonna be
exciting.
gross. I love it.
It'll be great.
It's going to be very silly. But yeah. That's
Yeah.
the story, Morning Glory. So many things.
Nice.
I got
Yeah.
Oasis tickets. Holy shit. I didn't tell you that story.
Oasis, the music group?
The band. Did you not hear about this?
No.
Oh my God. Stop the presses. I know you have a hard stop at 8, but I'm keeping you late.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Oasis, the band of Wonderwall fame,
You're my Wonderwall.
most famous for the two brothers who beat the shit out of each other on stage and famously said they would never work together again and had been feuding for many, many years, have reconciled
Whoa.
and are going on a world tour. And everybody was like, what? Like, no, like there's no way that this is happening. And so they did all their drops for the European leg of the tour. And then they did the North America drops this past week. And my mom was like, we are going to this show. Like, I will do anything to go see Oasis. Cause like none of us, we all thought they were toast.
Yeah.
Like Oasis at the time was like, people were talking about them like they were the fucking Beatles. Like they were
Really?
huge. Yeah. And like it was kind of a
Wow.
huge bummer that they broke up the way that they did because they just like
Yeah.
they could have had a massive career. And they did. Like it's not that they weren't
Sure.
massive. It's just that like it got cut short because of
Yeah.
stupid bullshit. And so those tickets went like that. Like they went so fast.
Oh, whoa.
And so I am the trusted Ticketmaster runner in my family. So my mom usually just
Nice.
is like, get the tickets, whatever it is, we'll put it on my credit card. You can pay me back, like whatever. And so I went in line and I have 2 Ticketmaster accounts.
Genius.
And so I had one open on my laptop and one open on my phone. And I was like, well, whichever one I
Mhm.
get into the queue further, I'll just focus on that one. And so that's what I did. So we got one of our dates and I was 11,000 in line.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't have high hopes here. I was like, but
Yeah.
maybe. So I waited the like 10, 15 minutes, got into it. There were still some seats left, not a lot. They were moving
Nice.
very, very
Great.
quickly. And I was like, okay. So I did the thing and I grabbed them and they kept being like, these tickets are no longer available. These tickets are no longer available.
Oh, I hate that.
And I was like, I don't have high hopes. And so then I kept changing the number of seats, like down one and then back up to the number I needed, down one, back up to the number I needed. And then I just waited and somebody's cart dumped back out into Ticketmaster and I snagged him and I got him.
Good.
So
Oh my God, I'm
yeah.
so excited for you.
me too. And then my mom was like, you got the insurance on those, right? And I was like, yeah. Do they count as a force majeure?
Maybe.
I was like, I don't know.
Kudos to you. Yeah, I fucking hate having to go in and buy tickets to anything. It is such a
It's the worst.
It's a frustrating, infuriating experience all around. It's like I can't tell who I'm more angry at. If I'm more angry at like the fucking monopoly that Live Nation holds on all ticketed live events, or if I am angry at all these fucking resellers who come in and buy just blocks of tickets to sell them at like double or triple the price.
Yeah.
It's like humanity at its worst. It's like Black Friday, but online.
We need to gut Ticketmaster like a fish and leave it to bleed.
Hell yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
awful.
it up.
I hate it. I actually wish we would go back to old school box offices.
Yes.
For real. Like,
yes. I agree.
really think the live industry, the live entertainment, just music and elsewise, like would be better served if we just got people back at a box office again. But it's just my 2 cents. Yeah. So moral of the story, I got it through got mostly luck, frankly. It wasn't like skill. It was just waiting it out and clicking fast.
Yeah. I'm glad.
But I did it. That's all really exciting.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. So many things happening.
So many things. What is this? 2025, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. It's like fall 2025.
Oh,
so
amazing.
We have a year to wait.
You have a year to think about it.
It's fine. It's going to be okay. It's all good. But yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway, we've gone so far beyond
yes,
our regular podcast episode. But yeah, if you wish to stay in touch with us, especially as things are changing, you want to keep in touch.
Yeah.
The best place to stay with us is TikTok, frankly, because that's where I am the most. Although I've been posting there less. I did have a very fun one go viral recently. About it was the Kinktober, Wumptober.
Post, which exciting.
Did real well.
Yep.
So, TikTok at the Fic List. We're the Fic List everywhere. So basically, if you Google us, you'll find us. We have theficlist.com, which will also send you to our many various and sundry platforms. Like I said, we have an 18+ Discord if you want to chat with us. That's the Fic List. We're going to Comic-Con next week. Maybe it's this week by the time this episode comes out. Who's to say? Who knows?
At a point in time.
We are going to be at New York Comic-Con. Be there or don't, there. I guess. So
right.
Yeah, and then say hi. If you run into us in places, say hi.
Take cool. Matthew's example.
Yeah, exactly. Yay.
Yay.
All right. Well, bye, friends.
Well, yeah. Bye.
Bye.